Okay, day 2, geometric sequence. All right, arithmetic went up by a common value. Geometric is going, or up or down. Geometric is going up or down by multiplying by the same value instead of adding or subtracting the same value. So instead of D, they call it R. So 2 times what is 4, times what is 8, times what is 16, R is 2. So what I do is I just do this term divided by that term, and I get 2. Or you can do this term divided by that term, you still get 2. So it's more of an exponential function. Kind of like the coronavirus. 2 people have it, and then 4 people have it, and then 8 people have it, and then 16. But that's whatever the R is. So if R is 3, and you're starting with 2, then 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18, times 3 is that. All right, so don't worry about this one, just this one, and don't worry about this one, that one. Okay, so you're going to need to know those formulas. All right. So this one says find the first 3 terms. So A1 is -8. A2, now this is recursion. Here's the present term, here's the past. So A1 over 2 is -4. So A3 would be the previous term over 2. Which is, right, -2. With this one, A1 is -2 times 1/3 to the 1 minus 1, which is 0. That's 1, so I get -2. A2 is -2 1/3, 2 minus 1, which is 1. That's -2/3. And A3 is -2 1/3. 3 minus 1 is 2, so that's -2 9ths. All right. A4 is 5, R is 6. So A1 is, I don't know. A2 is, I don't know. A3 is, I don't know. A4 is, oh, look at that, 5. So A5 would be 5 times 6, which is 30. A6 would be 30 times 6, which is, I don't know. So we got to divide by 6 if I'm going down. So 5, 6. Now divide that by 6, I get 536. Divide that by 6, 5/216. Number 2, write an explicit formula for the geometric sequence shown right here. So we got to find R. So R is take 2 terms and divide them top down. So the 12 over 4 is 3. And an explicit formula, okay? Well, this is the explicit formula. AN equals A1, R to the n minus 1. So AN equals A1, R to the n minus 1. Well, I have A1, that's 4. So AN is 4 times 3, n minus 1. 4 times 3 to the n minus 1. The first term is -5. The common ratio is -2. All right, this question goes on the next page. So the first term is 5. Common ratio is -2. First term 5. Common ratio -2. All right, Kayla, put your phone away. So what are the terms A1, A2, A3? Well, hello, A1 is 5. So A2, we got to multiply that by -2 to get -10. And A3 is times that by -2, I get 20. So find a recursive formula. So with recursion, state the first term, and then we have to write this as, well, the recursive formula is a to the n minus 1 times R. So AN is R, I like to put the R first, AN minus 1. That's recursion. The explicit formula, AN is A1 RN minus 1 So an is a1 times r, which is -2, n minus 1. That's the explicit formula. And to find the 10th term, you would use the explicit formula. So a10 is 5, -2 to the 9th power. Does anybody know what that is? Well, I don't either. A10 is -2560. You can only do it to the 8th. Okay, the common ratio, so do this divided by that. So we do 3/4 divide -1/2. And I'm getting to be -1.5 or -3/2. An explicit formula, so that's an is a1 times r to the n minus 1. Okay, so we're plugging that into the explicit formula. And maybe it might help if you write the formulas on a piece of paper, sort of like what I have, and you just kind of, keep it over here somewhere, and this way you always know what the formulas are. Recursive formula, so a1 is -1/2, must state that. An is an minus 1 times r. So r is -3/2, and minus 1. What's the 10th term of this sequence? Well, r is 3. Here's the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10. I mean, you could brute force it. So 324 times 3, 972 times 3, 2916 times 3, 8748 times 3 times 3, 78732. All right, so now I have another system of equations. So a5 is that, a2 is that. So 768, so I'm going off of here, is a1, and r I don't know, to the n minus 1. So 768 is a1, I don't know that. I don't know r, but it's n minus 1. N is 5, so that's 4. So then I get 12 is a1 r to the 2 minus 1, which is 1. So I can't subtract these, I have to use substitution. So I'm going to do this. 12 is a1r, so let's solve for, solve for a1. So 12 over r is a1. Plug that into here. 768 is 12 over r times r4, because that's a1. So 768 is 12 times r cubed, those reduce. Divide 768 by 12, I get 64 is r cubed. Cube root both sides, r is 4. The explicit formula, an is, I gotta find a1. So r is 4. So I can go over here. If r is 4, a1 is 3. 3 times 4 to the n minus 1. That's the explicit formula. Okay. A3 is 4. A5 is 100. Find the nth term formula. Okay. Another way that I could do this type of question is this. All right, so the third term is 4. The fourth term, I don't know, and the fifth term is 100. So 4 times what is 100? 4 times what is 100? So 4r squared is 100. Divide that by 4, r is 5. Obviously it's positive because I have positive 100. All right, so now I have to find a1. So if a3 is 4, so then that means a2, divide that by 5. So I'm going to get 4/5, divide that by 5. 4 25ths. So a to the n is a1 4 25ths times r to the n minus 1. Or you could do it this way, but this way is not too bad because it's only like 1 or 2 apart. When it's 3 or 4 apart, I mean, you could still do it. Okay, number 7, the explicit formula is this. I have to find the recursive formula, so I have to find a1. So a1 is going to be 18 1/2 to the 1 minus 1, which is 0, so a1 is 18. So a1 is 18, an is r, which is 1/2 an minus 1. All right, good with that. Number 8. A4, oh, this looks fun. A4 is that, A5 is that, common ratio. We'll do this, divided by that. Can anybody, if you can do that in your head, then you are certainly more advanced than I am. Close. -1.1.